I think the last time I saw him was in 2008
Uh-huh.
when I was visiting here in Germany, actually, in Erlangen, Christina Silberhorn's
Oh, yeah.
group.
Hmm.
And so I was there for 3 months. It was my first kind of long-term academic visit. And the group was like fantastic. Everything was like really, really great. But I found like after a couple of weeks, I started to get incredibly lonely and very depressed. And
Hmm.
the weekends were very difficult because I don't know, I was just like used to always having people around me that I could, either family or whatever. And so I was surprised how quickly you could get depressed from loneliness. Um, and
It's
so,
real, yeah.
and I remember chatting with him. That used to be back in the days of GChat on Gmail, remember? So we would frequently
Yeah.
exchange messages on GChat. And I was talking about how depressed I was, and he was like, "Let's go on a weekend trip together somewhere." So
Oh,
we
wow,
we
yeah.
booked a weekend in Amsterdam, and it must have been like still some way in the future, but having this like thing to look forward
Hmm.
to.
Hmm.
And then eventually, yeah, we met up in Amsterdam and like hung out, and it was like a really like fun time. And then I think that was the last time I didn't see him until, well, I guess because that was a couple of years later that
Yeah.
he yeah, had that
Gosh.
tragic
Yeah.
car accident.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Certainly not his fault, no.
no.
Yeah. But that's interesting that you mentioned this about how quickly loneliness. I mean,
Mm.
this is a very, very interesting pivot. I think that we could go on right now,
Sure,
and I'm
yeah,
happy to go on this
yeah.
because it plays such an important role in your productivity and
Hmm.
your like your creativity. You can when you move countries, it's profoundly lonely. It's
Hmm.
profoundly lonely. You go outside of your full support network, and you get dumped
Hmm.
somewhere else, and you don't know anyone. And I mean, I don't know, but I think most physicists aren't that great at socializing.
Yeah.
It's a generalization, I know, but I
Mm-hmm.
think probably it resonates with a lot of physicists. It's a bit hard to meet people, right, as a physicist.
Mm-hmm.
You can't meet normies, right, because they'll just say, if you tell them you're a physicist, then you get one of five answers, right?
Yeah.
Do you know them?
I hated I was bad at physics at
School.
school. Or
I really,
you must be smart.
you must be really smart. And I love physics at
Oh,
school.
oh, you get that one? I
Yeah,
don't get that
sometimes you
one.
get that one. Yeah.
I've literally had someone just turn around and walk away.
What the?
Yep, like at a party. Like, I think like getting drinks or something like, "Oh,
Yeah.
what do you do? Physics." Walk away.
I mean, ay, ay, ay.
Mm,
And so you're lonely, right? You
mm.
get dumped in this new place, and you're lonely. Maybe it's your first postdoc, and you can't really make friends. And people in your group, I don't know, are they competitors when you're a postdoc?
Okay, I never thought about that, but interesting that because
Yeah,
people do bring up this thing about academia being very competitive, and
yeah.
I guess I was so clueless. Well, that's
Well,
probably why I lost it. But I
yeah,
never. But
but
anyway, I don't want to have
but, no, but
go
it's a
in that
good
direction.
counterpoint, right? I wasn't completely comfortable with all the people I met in all the groups,
Mm,
and one of the reasons is some of them were quite competitive. I
mm,
didn't feel competitive myself, but
mm,
they brought that energy to the space, let's say. And there you are, and then you're probably jet lagged, and you're dealing with like stupid shit like registering your, I don't know, your bank account or something, and it takes weeks. It's just weeks. All the
mm.
stupid shit you have to sort out when you move a country, and things aren't in the supermarket where you think they should be, and
Oh, the cognitive load of doing grocery shopping
yeah,
in a store where you're not familiar with the brands and the locations
it's
is like
it's enormous.
outrageous.
Yeah,
Like,
you can be exhausted, and I
yeah,
remember you just come home at 5 p.m. and I'm so exhausted, and
yeah,
you just fall
yeah,
asleep.
yeah,
Yeah, and even if it's an English speaking country, I mean, yeah,
yeah.
it's non-trivial.
And even with food, like even if you want to prepare your own
Hmm.
meal that is, like familiar, something you've cooked at home, the ingredients always have such subtle differences that
Yes,
the thing you prepare in the end is like it doesn't taste the same.
it's different.
Like the
Yeah,
milk is a little bit different, the flour is a little
yeah,
bit different.
100%.
It's like really
And
weird.
nobody
Yeah.
kind of ever tells you this, or at least nobody
Mm.
told me. I don't know if they told you, but
No, no, no.
and I was absolutely shockingly unprepared
Yeah.
in my first move to the UK. And it's what Sean sort of his ghost sort of
Right, right,
is
right.
there
Yeah,
again,
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
and there I was in Bristol in the middle of winter. I wasn't even prepared for the fact that days had different lengths.
Hmm. Hmm.
In Australia, it's always like 12
Yeah, yeah,
hours all
yeah,
the
yeah,
time,
yeah.
and miserably cold, and nothing worked, and the food was it didn't taste right, and I was exhausted all the time
Mm-hmm.
for weeks and weeks and weeks, and my productivity was zero for at least 3 months, like absolutely rock bottom zero. I didn't do a single thing in the day except try and find another rental property and
Mm-hmm.
all this stupid stuff. And nobody prepares you for that. And what you should be told is you got to give yourself a bit of grace.
Mm-hmm.
Every move costs you at least 6 months is my kind of formula.
Yeah.
Give yourself a bit of grace, because if you don't, then that's you're miserable instantly, right?
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the challenges of doing multiple postdocs, is that you lose that 6 months adjusting, and then 6 to 12 months before you make the next move, you have to now focus on
Exactly.
getting the
Yeah.
next job. And so
Yeah.
what, you have like 6 months to be productive, and
Yeah.
how
And
are
the
you
pressure
supposed
is
to? Yeah,
ramping up over those
yeah,
first
yeah,
6 months,
yeah,
because
yeah,
you're not
yeah,
doing anything. And nobody, I feel that that's not talked about very much.
mm,
The cost of moving is,
yeah,
it's always
yeah.
romanticized. Oh, I'm going to Caltech, or I'm
Yeah,
going,
yeah. And then also the financial costs, because like postdoc salaries are okay. Like
Mm,
maybe they're not great compared to like tech salaries, but in the grand scheme of things, if you look at what the average person in the country earns, like they're pretty good salaries.
yeah.
But the problem is that if you have to, like, every time you move, buy a whole new like set
Yes.
of like kitchen things and like sheets and whatever, like, because are you going to be packing all of your dishes and like forks and knives?
And
But
even if you do, you have
yeah,
to wait until they
yeah,
come
yeah.
from a ship, right?
And so buying all that stuff over and over again, definitely, I think,
Yeah,
adds up, and you're not putting away money for your future. And
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I used to actually I used to think about this, like, that it would be cool, especially at Perimeter, where there were just like so many postdocs just
Mhm.
going through, to have some kind of like room that was like dedicated to just like having household things like plates and bowls and
That's
stuff,
a
and you
great
come
idea.
in and you
Yeah.
borrow the stuff for 2 years and then like put it back, so that you're not constantly having to buy new stuff. And
Wow, that's
yeah,
actually an amazing idea.
but I don't know if the logistics would be worthwhile, and everyone has different like
I
tastes.
mean, people do,
And
but you kind of make do pretty quickly,
yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
We certainly had a kind of informal system here for a while, where that we had enough turnover in staff and people coming in, that there was this kind of common property of dishes and
Oh
plates and
yeah,
things that
interesting,
were stored
interesting.
in our meeting
Yeah,
room,
okay.
and then people would take these things and then
And
put
then
them
yeah, yeah,
back, and
yeah,
then and then there would
yeah,
be kitchen stuff, because in Germany they had the stupidest thing. Like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever
yeah.
heard of, and you probably ever heard of if you're not German. When you move into a place, there is no kitchen
I
in it.
found this out
Yes,
yesterday, which was just crazy.
it doesn't make
Crazy.
any sense at all. But when a German person moves out of their property, they take the kitchen, cabinets, basins, it goes. You're left with
Yeah.
with an empty room with like pipes hanging out of the
Yeah.
wall.
Wild.
It's wild to me. And we're not talking about big houses or something.
Yeah,
No, we're
yeah.
talking about like students who move from a
Yeah.
from
So imagine you come from Australia and suddenly you have to spend, I don't know, I don't know how much a kitchen costs, $5,000, $10,000 on a new
in that order.
on
Yeah,
a new kitchen.
yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Of course, there is a
Yeah.
solution. There are lots of secondhand kitchens that you can
Yeah, yeah.
buy, but nevertheless,
But also, who wants to think about installing a
this is
kitchen?
ridiculous. Yeah,
That's something you think about when you buy a house, when you're an adult. Not,
exactly. And then when you look at what a kitchen is, these cabinets, it is just the same as installed cabinets in a bedroom or something like
yeah,
that. Like,
yeah,
why did they pull those things out, but
yeah.
not the?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I think if you want to think about it logically, there's nothing weird about it, but I'm just not used to it.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
and when you go to a country and you're not used to these
yeah,
things, there's these kind of shocks that
yeah.
hit you week after week.